Welcome to this week's Monday Minutes. My name is Kelly.
And my name is Jessie, and this week we are going to talk to you about Koha's feature for self-checkout. Kelly, do you think many people know that Koha has a unique feature in here that they can use as self-checkout? Like you do not need any other products, but you can check right out.
I know, gosh, I hope everybody knows, but this is why we're doing this today, is to tell libraries that Koha does have a built-in self-checkout module. You can have just another computer in your library, and we'll show you how you can set that up so your users could easily check out themselves.
Excellent. So why don't we kick things off by talking about the permissions and the system preferences that set everything up to turn on your self-check in the system.
Absolutely. So we'll head over to our global system preferences. I'm just going to type in self-check. That will bring me most of the system preferences that are set up for that self-checkout module. A few things to know. The very last one, web-based self-checkout, needs to be set to enabled. So that's how you're telling Koha, yes, I want to use this. What it also does is it gives you the link that you are going to attach your OPAC URL to, and that will allow you to have a web browser page dedicated to the self-checkout module. If we start at the top here, the first system preference, you can allow your self-checkout module to log in automatically. So you don't have to remember to log it in every morning, and that will be super easy. If you set this to allow, we'll go over there and create a patron. So you have a self-checkout patron.
Now, if you are a multi-branch system and you want to track the statistics for self-checkout at each one of your branch locations, you can actually create individual self-checkout accounts for each one of those locations. That way, when a staff member logs in that morning, each one of you will have your own unique login for each branch location. Then when you're running reports, you can look at the self-checkouts from each branch in your system.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So we have this set to allow, and we'll show you what that patron looks like in our database, because it does require permission to allow this person to log in, this person. You can restrict IP addresses using the self-checkout module. You can create a help message. There's like and I'll point it out when we pop over to the self-checkout module, there is a little help that you can customize the language. So if a user didn't know what to do and you wanted them to have some language there, that can be edited here. A big one is the login. How are your users going to log into the self-checkout machine? So I walk up to the machine, and what does Koha need information-wise to verify it's me?
And I'll just jump in here and say a lot of libraries have shared kind of their setups with us. And if you decide to use card number, you can attach a scanner right to your device, whether you're using a touch screen to allow them to self-check, or you have a laptop or some type of desktop hooked up to it with a monitor. A lot of people will set a scanner right next to it so a patron can come up and just scan that card number and begin the process.
Yeah, and the scanner is really helpful as well if you have long barcodes.
Yes.
So you don't have any errors when your users are trying to type out those 13-digit barcodes. The other option you could use for the self-checkout, a username and password. So you have two options that they can log in right into your self-checkout module to start checking things out to themselves using a card number or that username and password.
Perfect.
If you did want to have a receipt printer at your self-checkout module, you can do that. And this is going to tell Koha whether a print receipt pop-up should be displayed when the user finishes their checkout. There is a way for your user to finish their transaction, and there's a big button that says finish. If they do not hit that finish and they just walk away, Koha will allow you to set an amount of time when it will log that user out. It's defaulted to 120 seconds, but you can, of course, change that to a shorter or longer time.
Perfect.
I've actually never seen anyone use this, but there is the ability to show a patron image at the self-check. So if I were to log in, my image is going to show up as well. That is, of course, if I'm already using images in Koha.
Yeah, if you allow patron images to be uploaded.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
So we should go check out our self-checkout person that's in the system and just show you how you can do that. I have this magical self-checkout person that's been created. Their username and password is self-check. You can, of course, change that, just change the system preference. And the permissions are important here. So for the permissions for our self-checkout, we actually have 2 permissions for self-check modules. Koha also has a self-check-in module. And next week, Jesse and I will talk about the self-check-in module. So the one that's specific to today's is perform self-checkout at the OPAC.
Excellent. Now that we have everything set up on the back end, why don't we head over and look at the OPAC so we can see what that looks like for users to begin the self-checkout process.
Perfect. So I don't know if you can see it, but remember when we enabled, it gave us a little end link to our OPAC. So our OPAC is just this train 1, and then this is the end area that it tells us to attach to it. And then you can bookmark that to the computer and you are good to go. This is what this screen will look like. It can, of course, be customized with system preferences. Let me log in. My card number is nice and short. Once a user logs in, you can see a lot of information about what I have checked out, my hold, any fines that I have outstanding. I can also renew at the self-checkout module.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I really came here to check something out, I could scan a barcode in here, or I could just come in here and say, oh, I should probably renew that and renew from the self-checkout module.
Awesome. Can we just take a look at, Kelly, what those charges look like?
Absolutely. I owe lots of money.
Really over the limit.
I know. Lost, write-offs, lost. And I love the holds as well. I can see any holds that are pending, and look at this. This is in transit. This has been suspended. So I do get a lot of information that I would get if I logged into my account on the OPAC.
Mm-hmm.
Same if I went to the computer and did a checkout.
Now, once the patron is completed, they can either hit that finish blue button right there, and that will complete the transactions that they've performed. Now, if Kelly has the prompt for receipt turned on, it will give us that prompt. But you'll notice there is also a system preference for timeout. So if somebody forgot to hit that finish, it will prompt and log them out after whatever you have it set to, 60 seconds, 120 seconds.
Yep, absolutely. So let's hit that finish, and there's that prompt. So I had that set up so I could go ahead and print it, or I could just end that session, giving the option to for users to have a receipt or not. Then we bring it back to this page that just says enter your card number. So prompting me to use my account. Up in the top here is that help button. So whatever I've customized here, it will show up for my user.
Excellent. And remember, you can always customize this page, bringing in your logo or customizing your colors and branding it from your library marketing material.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jesse, this is fantastic. I hope people are excited and libraries are going to set up their self-checkout.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you have a small location where you might have a partnership, maybe in a grocery store or the YMCA or something like that, this is a great opportunity to set something up and have that relationship or partnership with another entity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as always, have a great week.
Have a great week. Happy Monday. Bye.
Bye-bye.